Welcome to HyBiz News. I'm Suresh Kochatar. European shares got off to a strong start on Monday after China reported that its economy grew at a nearly 5% annual pace in last quarter. US futures were higher and futures for the S&P 500 and Dow Industrials also advanced. Most Asian benchmarks also climbed. China was the first country in the world to suffer coronavirus outbreak and the first major economy to emerge from the pandemic and begin reopening its pandemic showdown. That's providing the boost to other countries that rely heavily on trade with China. Britain's FTSE was 100 at flat at 5,922.31, but Germany's DAX gained 0.3% to 12,941.73. The CAC 40 in Paris jumped 0.8% to 4,976.15. The future contract for the S&P 500 surged 0.9%, while the future of the Dow Industrials rose 0.8%. After contracting 6.8% in the first quarter of this year, the Chinese economy grew 3.2% in April-June quarter and 4.9% in July-September. Both the annual growth and the 2.7% quarterly expansion were weaker than hoped for. Still, the recovery of Asia's largest economy is good news for other countries that rely heavily on trade with China, including Japan. It reported last Monday that exports fell at a slower pace in September from a year earlier, partly thanks to higher demand from China. The Nikkei 225 index stood at 1.1% to 23,671.13, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng climbed 0.6% to 24,542.26. In South Korea, the Kospi edged at 0.2% higher to 2,346.74, while the S&P AX 200 in Australia surged to 0.9% to 6,229.40. The Shanghai Composite Index shed early gains, falling to 0.7% to 3,312.67 as the investors logged profits on the expectation that data have doused the chances for a major stimulus measures that might help boost markets. Thailand's stock benchmark dropped 2.1% as political protests that have rocked Bangkok in the recent days spread to at least a dozen provinces outside the capital. Shares in India and Southeast Asia, New Zealand's benchmark was flat as Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern handily won a second term in Saturday's election. Ardern's Liberal Labour Party took a solid majority, winning 49% of the vote and crushing the Conservative Party, National Party, which got 27%. China's National Bureau of Statistics reported that the industrial production rose to 5.8% in July to September over the same quarter last year, a marked improvement in the first half's 1.3% contraction. Retail sales rose to 0.9% over the year earlier from 7.2% contraction in the first half, when consumers already anxious about a slowing economy and a tariff war with Washington tightened their belts. Meanwhile, hopes for a new stimulus for the United States economy were muted, with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying time is running out to get measures passed before the November 3rd election. Investors have been hoping that Washington would provide more financial support for the economy since July, when a $600 a week extra benefit for the unemployed expired. Wall Street closed to a choppy week of trading, with more on the same Friday as the late afternoon stumble led the US stock market indexes to a mixed finish. The mixed performances matched the mixed data, but the US government reported that retail sales rose in September for the fifth straight month, while Federal Reserve said that the US industrial production had its weakest showing since spring. Rising coronavirus caseloads across the globe have left investors cautious as governments impose fresh restrictions to contain the outbreaks. The 10-year Treasury yield rose to 0.77% from 0.74%. US benchmark crude oil dropped 18 cents to 40.94 per barrel in electronic trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange. It gave up 12 cents on Friday to 41.12 per barrel. Brent crude, the international standard, lost 20 cents to 42.73. In currency dealings, dollar slipped to 105.34 to the Japanese yen from 105.40 on Friday. The euro strengthened to 1.1758 from 1.1717. Thank you.